darkness.
Yeah, hello everyone. I am Omega0. I am back once again with more Dark Souls 3 with Tharja for the cosplay. We are almost there. And by that I mean we're like a quarter of the way there. Because we got the Firekeeper robe. And we don't really have any items that can kind of like accentuate like the middle finger with the way that Tharja has it on her hands. But, close. We're gonna get something kind of later. Once we go through the Cathedral of the Deep, which is our next area. But once we go through here and defeat our boss, we have access to Grey Rat once again. This time, Grey Rat, after being sent out on his pillage, comes back with new items for you to purchase.
Oh, hello. You've come at a good time. It took some prowling, but I finally made a score. Go on. Have a gander.
And with that, we can look at some new items. And every time I get some new items, you'll see this by the purchase of more embers. Like, embers become more purchasable. And you actually get some pretty good items. I.e., he's able to get you the knight armor fairly early on after you send him out to pillage. And you get some assassin armor. And he gives you a few different types of arrows and bolts. Sniper bolt, heavy bolt, standard bolts, arrows. And he gives you one of the best healing items in the game, a Divine Blessing. Now, these are very good items, for they fully restore HP and cure all ailments. So, it is ridiculous, and it's amazing. But we unfortunately have nothing to purchase from him right now at this moment.
Oh, this place is a bore. What good is thievery if you've nowhere to go?
Yeah, unfortunately. But after doing that, we're going to go talk to Andre and increase our Estus Flask usage. And we're actually going to give him coal as well. Because if you remember in the last episode, after sneaking past the Black Knight, we were able to find some Farron coal. Now, if you give this to him, he'll be able to infuse some new properties into your weapon.
Oh my. This coal is from the Undead Legion, used to forge the weapons of Farron's Abyss Watchers. A fine prize. I'm honored to be endued with it. Now I'll be equipped to infuse special gems. Praise the gods, hey? Time to put this brawn to use.
And if you go into the fused weapon slot, you're able to infuse new types of weapons. You have the heavy gem, which is for strength based, like I mentioned. Sharp gems for dexterity purposes. Refined gem is for if you're doing a combination of both. Again, raw stats, fire, and a new one, poison. Don't use poison. Poison sucks unless you're doing it on a luck-based combination build where you are also infusing a weapon with, say, bleed, and they have a poison property, like a certain item that we'll see later that are used by certain enemies. Do that if you really want to do that, but most of the time you can't inflict bosses with these statuses because they really are resistant to them, or they have stats in a way that get rid of it. And we're going to reinforce our Estus Flask, And we're going to actually allot two of our essences to Ashen. Because now we can use magic and pyromancies, and thus we can get more out of this. Anyways, peace out, Andre. Go to Cornix of the Great Swamp.
Ah, there you are, unkindled one. I am pleased to have a pupil as dedicated as you.
And he gives you the welcome gesture. And you can actually, again, give him a pyromancy tome that we also found in the previous episode. Give him the Great Swamp pyromancy tome.
Yes, here we are. It's been long indeed. With this I can teach you more sophisticated pyromancies. Splendid. I can boast I am your tutor a little longer.
And with that, we'll learn some new ones. These new ones include a fire orb. Well, yeah, I think. The bursting fireball, which is actually pretty good. Yeah, poison mist, which is not as good. It's really only good for like PvP, and that's AFK PvP. Flash sweat, which increases your resistance to fire damage. And this one, profuse sweat, which is increased all your resistances. We're gonna get the fire orb because it's just it's a stronger fireball and it does more damage, but it does cost more MP, but it's only slightly more. We're also gonna get bursting fireball because even though we don't have the stats for it yet, it's still gonna be good damage. And we're going to reinforce our pyromancy flame to become +2. So now we deal more damage with pyromancy. So and we also purchased some items for him. I was completely wrong. The Conjurator one, nah, you buy the Pyromancy Garb from Cornix.
What is a teacher without a pupil?
Again, it's not the closest thing, but we're getting there. Anyways, if you go back to Orbeck of Vinheim, he'll be here with his sorceries.
Oh, you're back then. Again, I'm Orbeck of Vinheim, here to teach you sorceries. Let us begin with the basics. The ideal sorcerer bears the twin faces of the dragon. You could at least act as if you're paying attention.
And here, again, you can learn some sorceries. Now, as you can see, number held, I have some of these sorceries already. And that's because I learned them from some of the other characters. Farron Flash Sword, Soul Great Sword. If you combine these with like certain properties with other weapons, again like the Hazel's Pick, ooh, do they get good? Like Soul Great Sword, stuff like that, they become good. Great Heavy Soul, Great Soul Arrow, Heavy Soul Arrow, Great Heavy Soul Arrow. They all do pretty good damage. We'll purchase them later because again we don't have all the stats, and you do actually have to learn for him, or Orbeck will peace out and take all his sorceries with you, and you're locked out of sorceries for the rest of your time here. But we will leave for now because we just kind of want to show off, say how he's going. And he's very short and to the point. But if you go over to Yuria of Londor, because yeah, even though I said I'm abandoning the quest line, she does give you some interesting little tidbits here. So if you talk to her,
speak thy desire, honorable Lord of Hollows. Oh, good Hollow, I'm afraid I must say, Orbeck of Vinheim is a cause of much consternation. He proclaimeth himself Lord of Hollows. If left alone, he may one day imperil thy rule. Fall to this matter yearly, else we are unraveled. Decisiveness is the mark of a true monarch.
so she will edge you into deciding to take out Orbeck. There's no need of taking out Orbeck because he has literally done nothing against us. But if you want a specific weapon, you can do this later. Because she'll actually give you a good weapon that increases on damage when you're low on health, which gives you some very good glass cannon builds. But we're not going to do that. Like I said, you can purchase Dark Hand. It does a lot of damage. As you can see, 183 damage. That's because of our stats. but we're gonna come later.
Dark sigil guide thee.
We're gonna abandon this quest line, like I said. Once we're higher level, I'm actually gonna give the Firekeeper soul, and that'll allow you to purge the Dark Hand. But we're actually going to kill Yuria before that, because we're gonna get something out of it. Anyways, we're going to run over here and talk to this little guy. I forgot his name. I'll put it up, or he'll name come up when we're talking to him.
Happened upon any twisted
Ludlith, I believe. Yeah, of Corlin. Transposition: you get Crystal Hail from the Crystal Sage, or you get his Rapier. Don't get the Rapier. The Rapier sucks. Just go with the Sorcery, because it doesn't cost all that many souls, and yeah, while we can't use it yet, it's not that bad, and it's actually something we'll be able to use later because of the way we're building Tharja. She'll have some faith, and she'll have some intelligence. And then more attunement, dexterity, and all that, because you have to have the ability to cast spells quickly. And what we're going to do next is we're going to talk to this guy right here. I forgot his name.
Well, hasn't it been some time? I'm Leonard, the Ringfinger. Remember me? I slipped you those red eyes some time ago. You're making quite an effort of it, so I thought you might like to know. If you yearn for a proper red-eye orb, one that is uncracked, then kill the Dark Wraith, survivor of the land swallowed by darkness. He has been a prisoner for many ages in the deepest cell in all Lothric.
As you see, Leonard will give you a lift chamber key.
I can see it in your eyes. If you didn't invade, didn't pillage, whatever would you do?
And since I don't have money, invading is actually going to be out of the question for now. And we actually do need him alive for a quest later. That will give us a very, very good healing spell if we choose to do it. But we're going to rest here at the bonfire. We're going to attune our spells. And we're going to give ourselves the Fire Orb, because it does more damage, and I got back up because I'm an idiot. And we're going to travel to where we defeated the Crystal Sage. Because again, it's time for a new episode! So after kind of like going back and doing all your typical stuff, you will obviously want to constantly like check in with your allies, because they will always be presenting you with new stones, items, ability to level up, dialogue. You saw with Yuria, she said, hey, don't trust Orbeck. We're going to trust Orbeck, but only for a little bit because of the way that the game is presented. And that's because he's going to be helpful to us later. And you could get a way around of circumventing of killing him, because there will be something we can do later on. Anyways, equip this, so that way we can do that. And, as you remember, we have the ability to do more damage. So, if I take this off, give myself this, and give myself that, not the Morin's Ring, what the hell? Where is it? The Great Swamp Pot Ring will do more fire damage. And if you go right here, not a whole lot, 85, but still quite a sizable amount of damage. We get Twinkling Titanite, one of the better upgrading weapons, because Twinkling Titanite actually allows you to upgrade your weapons in a way that allows you to upgrade certain special weapons. They're not boss weapons, because boss weapons require their own currency in terms of upgrading to get better. But they do give you quite a bit. As you see, this hollow man cage is walking up towards us. And we're going to do this. 204 damage. Quite the jump up from last episode where we were doing basically like 70. And we're going to do this. Plunge. And we're going to attack this particular one. And we get more Twinkling Titanite. Always good. By the way, even if you did attack it, it would run off into this pit, because that's what happens with it. Like, a lot. Gonna heal. As you can see, we're already almost out of Estus. Estus focus points. But if you go, like, say right here, that hollow enemy will start running up to you. So we're going to heal up our focus points. And we're going to just spam fire. Till it dies! Haha! And he dropped rubbish! How dare you just drop rubbish, crappy hollow. Anyways, drop down here again. And some pricks would put messages down here like, treasure ahead. Don't listen to people like that. Pricks. Anyways, you walk up behind this Lady Deacon and you get the Herald armor. You can get all the armor sets of every single class that you fought against that you can pick at the beginning. So I'm pretty sure we already got all of them. Or at least most of them. Firebolt! As the Deacon ladies are more of the faith, they are more resistant, you know, to sorceries and all that. Makes sense. Haha! And I think that's it for her. She didn't drop her hat, though. But, as you see, sometimes enemies will give off this, like, orange mist. That allows you to recharge your Estus basically for free. Don't rely on it happening all too often, because, I'll tell you this, it doesn't happen all that often. Anyways, you want to do this like the bonfire. But if you go right here, you see a little enemy right there. You can lock on this enemy because friendlies won't allow you to lock on right away. And you're just going to throw fireball at him. And if you're like me, you'll just spam R1. Ow! He threw a kukuri, which is better than the throwing knives because they inflict bleed damage. And they hurt. Heal. And he'll throw them at you when you're far away. And because I spammed R1, I actually broke through his guard. But, whatever, the assassin is gone. And he just gives you a large amount of souls. You get Paladin Ashes, which allow you to get some more good items. Ah, my thing went off, my phone. But if you go up here, to the left of this little alcove, whatever, you get this, another Titanite Shard, which allows you to, again, upgrade your weapons, or your Pyromancy Flame. And you actually get this good look, which will be necessary when we go towards the swamp later. The Faring Keep, when we go back there and explore some more. Again, those weapons, those items will be, the flames will be necessary. Let the flames guide thee and all that jazz. Anyways, if you go over this way instead of going directly towards that enemy, because, you know, why would you go directly towards an enemy? It's not like it's an RPG or anything. If you go up here, you get an item. A Crust Shield. Which in of itself is an okay weapon. It's not too awful or anything. But, you only live once. Unless you're a hollow. Hey. Do the charge attack. Yeah, this enemy will also throw a kukuri at you. Oh, crap. And he did his war cry, so he hits harder. And since we're a squishy little mage that doesn't have the properties of, you know, taking the souls from our enemies yet, we will come back to that, because see, our store spear, where is it? I know I have you. Our store spear, we'll be able to wield it later. Because we're going to have higher dexterity, so we can cast higher, faster magic. And we're going to do not the greatest damage with it, because, again, it's a physical weapon. And we're doing, we're doing magic damage. Gosh dang it, I hate this area. Freaking hollows just shooting arrows at me. And unlike in Fire Emblem where I can dodge him completely. It's not like I can recover health that easily. I know I have an on-use item every single time to heal, but it has a finite amount of uses. It's like vulneraries, except worse. Actually, now I think about it, vulneraries are actually worse than this. What we're going to do, though, is that we're going to go behind this way, so that way we can drag in the dogs. See, they teleport! That one was on the left side, and it just went on the right side, because it overshot. What we're going to do is we're going to go around this way, and we're actually going to snipe the dog. And one-shot it. Because these freaking hollows with their gosh dang crossbows are annoying. They still hit me. Friggin' dang it. Screw you. Alright. Moving on to this area now. After we have gone out of the torture that was the previous area, we come to this area. Now, you want to be careful. The Cathedral of the Deep. Now, you want to be careful of this hollow, because guess what? He'll light himself on fire, and he'll do a lot of damage because he'll kamikaze himself into your face. So what you need to do, you want to ignore that. Now, here's a funny thing. On one of my profiles, I went around the whole way and went around to the opposite side. So, I believe most people who tried to invade me, they couldn't get in this way. So they would have to deal with all the enemies and all the crap that I would do that. So I circumvented the whole area. Anyways, don't do that unless you hate yourself, or if you know your way around. Open the Cathedral gates, come over this way, you get a Notch Whip. That'll inflict some bleed, and even though if you put like a bleed weapon on it, like a bleed infused weapon, it won't do much for you. Anyways, don't worry about this little man praying right here. This is your gateway into the DLC if you haven't done so already. And he is the Ashes of Ariandel DLC. Here's the thing, he will always be praying every single time you go in here. He's annoying, but I won't do anything right now because, well, it's not necessary, and it'll be counterproductive because if you kill him, you lost your chance to get into the DLC. Yeah, so say if you hit the dude by accident or if you piss him off, you lose your chance to get into the DLC. And by the way, don't attack all those enemies at once because that guy will also light on fire unless you can do that. And yeah, 1,001 damage, 100 damage. Hope you have enough health to survive that. Anyways, after getting around all the halls praying here, they were guarding an Estus Shard. Pick up that Estus Shard and we'll take it to Andre later after exploring this area to get more health. Anyways, in the graveyard of this area, as you can see, there's a bunch of naked hollows all around. These guys are essentially zombies. They are endless, they will constantly spawn, and you can do nothing to stop them from constantly spawning. I have tried, I spent hours here killing all these freaking hollows, and all I got was a couple thousand souls out of it. Because they do not drop a lot of souls. Yeah, they only drop 20. However, since they are zombies, they have typical, like, zombie weaknesses. They're weak to fire, and if you use a fire-based weapon on them, they will frig out. And like go crazy. Like they'll take extra damage, they'll be stunned. And you'll actually need it for another enemy we'll be seeing later in this exact same area. And yes, I know attacking all the hollows is useless, but I need some extra souls. And say if you go all the way over here and pick up these items, be prepared, because all you get is a fading soul and the Executioner's Greatsword, but they will also raise the living dead around you. And you do have to be careful. So the game will actively punish you for being greedy in a sense. Anyways, you can go down here and deal with all the zombie hollows. Or zombie hollows, they already are zombies essentially. And you can just kind of run around them. Because there's really not too many important enemies. Be careful of that one that has all the maggots coming out. Because they can inflict you with maggots. And maggots will increase your bleed build up for quite a while. If you are not careful. Anyways, most of these hollows are pretty passive, as in they won't do anything. But if you go down here to this way, you see a bunch of these other maggot hollows. And if you see a white birch tree, go around here. Ah! Oh god! Oh god! Ah crap. You'll be saved, quote unquote, by your friend. Because he'll be throwing down all these things. Go down here, Undead Bone Shard. Like I said, he'll be throwing them at the enemies, but it's not really worth it. Because, well, they infinitely respawn. But if you go over this way, what the? You get a Curse Ward Great Shield. Not really worth it in my opinion, because, well, you need a high strength for it, and I barely see anyone do it. If you come down here, kick the ladder, you now have a shortcut up this way to get here easier. But if you're thinking, Omega, how are we going to get here if we went on the other way? Well, my student viewers, if you were paying attention, you would have noticed another way that I will show off if I die, which is most likely going to happen because I have 0 healing right now. But if you see, you come up to this great door. Guess what? You cannot open the door from the side. Dang it! Yes, because Dark Souls circumvents all your way. Anyways, I will be taking off the fire damage and all that because while I like the damage, I also like my souls. I like healing more. So I will, when we get closer to the complete build, as I say, like having like all the spells attunement, you'll see me do it more often. Because let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, taking a sword and just hitting everything works a lot better most of the time. Pick this up, you get red bug pellet, go right here, take this enemy out, kick this guy's shield, ugh, juicy damage. Can't do anything about the archer there, so we'll just ignore it. And that enemy will come up and has a fire sword and killed us. And it died. Yeah, that's the thing. We don't have a lot of health. And here's the thing. I will say this area is big, but it's more big vertically than it is, like, spacious-wise. Because you have areas that lead into other areas. Yeah. Man, I'm not tired. Because, yeah, like I said, he will constantly talk, even when you spawn in. So, use an Ember. And be careful when you use these Embers, because they will always make you the chance of being invaded. Here's the thing. I have no internet connection. Or let me phrase that. I have no Xbox Live, so I am somewhat safe from all this. But anyways, if you go down here, like I said before, my student viewers, you'll come across this little passage. Jump down here, then jump down here again, and bam, you'll be at that little tower that I was talking about. But you want to be careful, because you know why? Maggot enemy! But very, very weak to fire. I think they take the most amount of damage from fire in comparison to like any other enemy in the game other than like one boss. One boss. Anyways, if you go up this way, you'll come back here to the little area. Bam, Titanite Shard. Ah, I'm surprised I didn't get a coding overload there. And if you aren't careful, there is a Crystal Lizard here. I'm not going to bother the Crystal Lizard because the Crystal Lizard will wreck my crap. Because, remember ladies and gentlemen, we are still pretty low level. Like, what level are we? Are we like level 18? Anyways, you defeat that little tiny Crystal Lizard, you get Twinkling Titanite. Very good upgrade weapon, like I upgrade item. And if you run over this way near the base of it, you get more Twinkling Titanite. Again, special weapons, not boss weapons. You'll see what I mean. Like, no, let me explain it now. Special weapons include, like, the Eritreal Straight Sword, the Executioner's Great Sword, Hazel's Pick, stuff like that. They don't go all the way up to 10, like your normal plus weapons, like, say, Twinkling Titanite or even your Pyromancy Flame. They go up to plus 5. But it still has the same properties as a plus 10 weapon. So say a plus 1 Tinkling Titanite or boss weapon is the same as a plus 2 normal weapon. And plus 2 for them, for the boss and special weapons, is a plus 4. So on and so forth until you get 10. So if you're thinking of upgrading a boss weapon to like plus 2, well, you better hope that the area you're invading in allows up to +4, or if you're in the same level, so on and so forth. You know how it is. Remember that enemy who came out of nowhere and wrecked our crap? He's kind of passive in the fact that if you're not close to him, he won't attack you, like most enemies in this game. I think he's supposed to also go on a violent murdering spree of the zombies, or the hollows, but he doesn't do it here, so I don't know. Anyways, same bird, seconds at first this time. Take out this one because he will, like, go crazy. Kick this one, shield. Ugh. That one will self-destruct. And if we go down here, hey, souls retrieve. Now, instead of going forward, go to the right here. Why? Because that guy. Go away. And you want to be careful here, and this is where I suggest having some form of throwing weapon. And I suggest having that in the form of like throwing knives or something like that, or bombs. But we don't have that. So, blow that guy up. Burn. Burn. Kill them all. Don't let a single one remain. Bam. Oh wow, he died to fall damage. That's a first. And you also want to be careful around this part right here, because that hollow will jump, fall down, and he also died to fall damage. And if you're not careful, that one will come up from over there and attack you from behind. Anyways, just take care of all these hollows. If you come over here, be careful. Bam. This dude. What the? He's usually supposed to fall, but you get a large soul of an unknown traveler. Go around this way. You want to be careful because you'll run into hollow archers again that'll throw crap at you. Firebolt. Crap. Oh god, combo. Wombo combo. You want to run? Then run. Anyways, grab that. Heavy bolt. Use that to deal with your enemies. Deal with him. Kick this one's shield. Ugh! Yeah, I know I'm being like very casual about this. That's because I play this game a lot. Or I used to play this game a lot. Anyways, you can run onto that little part of the building. Just go. And don't dodge roll off because you can, fall and die. We're going to heal up our blue this. And we're going to throw Firebolt. Bam. He was a fire high enough to take fall damage. But as you can see, there's some more Thrall hollows down here. They would conduct ambush spawns. And I hate ambush spawns. And they don't care that you're right here. Because they know they've been caught. But yeah, deal with them. Come down here. Because if you weren't careful, they would have ambushed you when you came across this way earlier. Ah, crap. And if I was careful, I would have paid attention to where that great pole arm hollow was. Gosh. You know what? Screw it. We're not going to deal with this crap. Well, we can deal with it now, I guess. Yeah, but anyway, shouldn't have. But I have a plan. A planny plan. We're going to do this. Ha ha! Ha ha! The plan worked. It worked! Haha. Stupid hollows. They don't have higher brain function. But yeah, if you go in here where this guy was at, you'll see another hollow Thrall. And we are going to use bombs to get him to come down. Because they banish you. And like this one will too. Grab this, Soul of a Nameless Soldier. Good lord, I am hungry. Hey, we got more Estus back. I'll take that. It's always good to have more Estus because, good lord, I need it. Do that. And this time though, you can't really afford to get away from this enemy right here, who is quite powerful. Yeah! As in, he samurai slices your life away. Unless you R1 spam him. So, do that. Or you can parry him. He'll also drop his weapons, which are good at inflicting bleed buildup. If I'm being honest. Ooh, wow, we're actually getting kind of late into this. And yeah, there's another one! But you can parry them. But that's gonna take too long. Crap. There, good lord. After dealing with that... Did I get more help? No! I got more Ashen Estus. I need regular Estus. You'll deal with some more hollows coming up here. They will self-ignite. So all you gotta do is run away. And you still get the souls at the end of the day. See? Quite a bit, actually. Makes you almost want to save all your souls, so that way you can just, like, you know, spurge on them. Anyways, he's alive. Let's fix that. Anyways, you want to go over here and you want to be careful, because you want to take out, if you go over here, you have to take out these hollows like one by one. But I suggest don't, because all you get is an Ember, and I don't have the healing to deal with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the door open. And we're going to go further into the Cathedral of the Deep. Now, you can still be invaded here and all that, but you don't want to stay around this spot too long. But it's not that big of a deal, mostly. Case in point, if you stay right here for a bit, you can see that there's a giant there. Don't attack the giant unless you're at its feet, because then the enemy giants are way easier to defeat. Like, way easier. They can't hit you as often. You could dodge their attacks easier, and you want to be careful when you're right here, because those things will, like, barf on you, I guess. No. Oh, crap. I don't have the health for this. So what you want to do is that you want to go over this way. You'll be taking down the lift, like quite a very deep lift now that I think about it. Turn around, and then you'll be able to come out to this side of the gate. Open it up, and like, if we're at the base now, that would mean, yep, you are back here once again at the right-handed side of when you're walking in to the Cathedral of the Deep. Now, this place is huge, and we already explored kind of a good chunk of it already, now if I'm being honest. There is, like, more of it to explore interior-wise, but we are already kind of heading into that very deep area territory of minutes. So with that, everyone, my name is Omega0, and the next time you see me, we will continue exploring the Cathedral of the Deep. I will catch you all later.
Like darkness.